Chicago residents are suing to halt the Southside Migrant Shelter. This comes from Fox 32. Residents of Chicago Southside are signing off about the migrant situation. South Shore residents announced a new lawsuit and injunctive relief. South Shore residents announced a new lawsuit and injunctive relief against the city of Chicago on Wednesday. So these are black residents. A lot of them are black. These ain't the right wingers. This ain't Republicans. And you're going to hear it. Now, if you are a leftist ally, I say that with air quotes, and if you are going to be dismissive, don't be shocked when black people stop listening, when black folks stop listening to you. Hear them out.
Be clear, we are not upset with the individuals who are being allowed to cross the borders into America. Let me make that very clear because people get it confused. We are, however, outraged with the government's response and our elected officials' blatant disregard to the local crisis black families and children are facing now in our city.
And she's making a point. What she's saying is we are not against people who are fleeing bad situations. What we are against is you providing massive amounts of money to those people, right? But then black folks are disproportionately the homeless. The same programs you're giving them, black folks have been asking for in Chicago for the longest time, and you haven't given it. You've told us to just wait, or hey, you're only 13% of the population. You know, your votes aren't big enough. If we give you something, you're gonna make everybody else angry. Well, these people aren't even citizens who are coming here. So why are they getting so many resources? Why is that? See, and it really, really shows you a different side of anti-black racism. A lot of times when people support communities over you, that's another form of anti-black racism. We know that, we see it, and you denying it or being dismissive about it or trying to gaslight us, it's only going to make some of these sentiments worse. I'm telling you, it's only going to make it worse from here on in. I'm telling you.
It is disingenuous and highly disrespectful to come into neighborhoods that have suffered decades of disinvestment, redlining, poverty, and violence to tell them you're taking resources away only to give it to another group of people that you allowed to cross the border illegally.
Did you hear that? She's not saying she's against people fleeing anywhere. She's saying, listen, you gave these people, you came up with the money as if it's a freaking emergency. Black America has been in a state of emergency for generations. Where was that same urgency? It wasn't there. So if you told us it wasn't there for us, why should it be there for anyone else? And see, that's when we're saying you're not bringing them here for reasons to help them. You're bringing them here for other reasons. Because if it were about, preserving life and helping people, right? If that were the case, if that were your guiding principles, if that was the idea, the method behind the madness, then explain to me, why did you not do the same thing for Black America when we were asking for the exact same things?
How dare you put these poor people against us, especially because the very reason you claim they're here to seek asylum is the same reason and terror and injustice Black people face today.
And there you have it. Is she wrong? Is she wrong? The same things you say, you can say about somebody fleeing Venezuela, Mexico, or any other country, right? The same things you can say, Haiti, all those places. And to be honest with you, we have less issues with Haitians. The problem is you sent the Haitians back because they're Black. See, we knows that too. See, that's how we know a lot of this mass migration stuff is being weaponized against us. Because if that were not the case, right? If that were not the case, why are the Haitians being sent back at a record pace? So check this out. A tragic milestone. This is from February of 2022. 20,000th migrant deported to Haiti since Biden inauguration. 20,000. So you are massively deporting the Black Haitians, right? You just kicking them out left and right. The Biden administration hit a sad and stunning milestone today. Abroad, its 198th flight deporting or expelling people to Haiti this morning was the 20,000th migrant sent back to the Caribbean nation since the inauguration day of 2021. I want you to see the difference between being a black migrant and being anybody else. According to Witness at the Border, a group that tracks U.S. government expulsion and deportation flights, 161 of those 198 planes carrying 17,900 people have flown in just the 5 months since September 19th. That was when over 10,000 mostly Haitian migrants appeared on the banks of the Rio Grande in Del Rio, Texas, asking for asylum or other forms of protection. Compare that to so many people being brought over the borders. These people are occupying police stations. They're occupying schools. There are discussions about schools being built for these people, facilities being built for these people. But you deported the 20,000 Haitian last year. See, you see what I mean by anti-black racism? Oftentimes, it's not so much about what you stop. It's also what you allow. And it tells you a lot. It shows you a lot. See, anti-black racism takes various forms. And it's amazing that people didn't think it would also come in the form of immigration and in multiple vectors.
Chicago is working on an issue without addressing the current issue that it has with the communities that are suffering. And we're seeing resources fly out to help, but we're not getting that same type of support at the magnitude we're seeing now. And to expect us to foot the bill and hand over our already limited resources, public parks and school buildings that have been unjustly closed in the first place.
So, did you hear that? Parks, schools, you had libraries. If you live in Chicago and you are a black person, you live in a predominantly black area, you know exactly what she's talking about. Block up Chicago. Chicago closed 50 schools 10 years ago, right? They're just closing schools, but you're opening up police stations, schools, libraries for migrants, while at the same time kicking out the black migrants at a historic pace. And that's why people who supposedly are our allies, who don't get the reason why, you're not really an ally. You are a person who is a white supremacist of a different faith.